Every hour Abdul Zahed is rolled over. His father keeps an anxious vigil. Zahed is 14 and was paralysed from the waist down when he was shot during a Taliban ambush of local officials.
It's
been 7 months like this. I blame the Taliban. The poor are suffering. I don't have anyone, just another small son and a wife. There's no one here who knows our situation.
When he arrived at this hospital in Kabul, Zahed had a bed sore the size of a man's fist. He's now recovering day by day. Last year was a terrible year for Afghan civilians. The UN assistance mission in Afghanistan says almost 3,700 civilians were killed, up 25% on the previous year. The number of child casualties increased by 40%.
2014 was the worst year we ever had in terms of admission of casualties in both our hospital, Lashkar and Kabul. We notice an increasing of usage of IED, that are improvised explosive devices that are very dangerous and are creating a lot of damage.
Last year, almost all foreign troops withdrew from Afghanistan. Now the Afghan government is fighting against the Taliban on its own. A large part of the increase in civilian casualties is being blamed on the withdrawal of international forces. There's less air support for the Afghan security forces, and that means that the fighting on the ground has become much wider and is lasting for longer. The UN says the number of deaths and injuries caused by ground operations has increased by more than 50% in 12 months.
We've seen increased ground fighting between the insurgents and the Afghan forces, both parties making offensive ground operations and defensive ground operations in and around often district centres.
This man was travelling with his family in a minivan when it was hit by an improvised explosive device. If he's lucky, he should be able to walk again in another 6 months. Nicole, Johnston, Al Jazeera, Kabul.